This is LSAT Prep Test 133, Section 4, Passage 3 about ocean floor geology, how magnetic quirks in basalt led to the discovery that the ocean floor is spreading. It's a pretty low difficulty passage, it's a pretty straightforward one. It is a chronological science narrative. The passage traces a chain of discoveries. The main point is that unexpected magnetic patterns in the ocean floor basalt led scientists to figure out that new crust is constantly forming at mid-ocean ridges and spreading outward. And the evidence fits the theory almost perfectly. Now, the most important paragraph here is paragraph 2. That's where the author stops explaining background science and starts making their actual point. Everything before it is setup, everything after it is proof. Now, paragraph 1 opens with the old belief. The ocean floor hadn't changed in millions of years. Then we discover new findings that make that idea fall apart. And the rest of the paragraph explains the mechanism you've got to understand for everything that follows. Basalt contains magnetite. Magnetite is magnetic. You kind of figure that based on the name, right? When magma is still molten, the magnetite grains act like tiny compass needles and align with the Earth's magnetic field. When the rock cools, that alignment gets locked in permanently. And so basalt is basically a fossil record of which direction the Earth's magnetic field was pointing when that rock was formed. Now, some basalt has normal polarity, meaning it matches the current field. Some has reversed polarity, meaning the opposite. That's all you've got to pull from this paragraph. You don't want to get bogged down in the details about compass distortion on land. That's just explaining how scientists first noticed something was off, but it's not the point. Now, paragraph 2 is the heart of the passage. You want to slow way down here. When scientists mapped the ocean floor's magnetic variations, they found something pretty surprising. The rocks are arranged in stripes, alternating bands of normal and reversed polarity, lined up in rows on both sides of a massive underwater mountain range, the mid-ocean ridge. And the pattern is symmetrical. Scientists put it together. The ridges sit over weak spots in the Earth's crust. Hot magma rises up through those weak spots, cools into new rock, and then gets pushed outward as more magma comes up behind it. And over millions of years, the process of the ocean floor spreading built the mid-ocean ridge. Now, every sentence in this paragraph connects to the next one. The stripes explain the ridge. The ridge reveals the mechanism. The mechanism is the theory. And if you rush through here, you're going to lose the chain of events and the questions are going to punish you for it. Now, paragraph 3 exists for one reason, to prove the theory from paragraph 2 holds up. It stacks up several pieces of evidence. The rocks closest to the ridge crest are very young, and they get progressively older as you move away. The youngest rocks all have normal polarity, which makes sense if they formed recently. And then the big finish comes. Geophysicists already knew the dates of the Earth's magnetic reversals from studying continental rocks. When they compared those known dates to the striping pattern on the ocean floor, and they assumed the floor spreads at a steady rate, the ages matched up. The author calls that correlation remarkable. This is the closest the author gets to expressing an opinion in the entire passage, telling you the author thinks this evidence is pretty strong. Now, you could move through paragraph 3 at a pretty steady pace. Just grab each piece of evidence, understand what it supports, and then keep going. The key move here is that the final correlation between the magnetic reversal dates and the ocean floor striping pattern matches up. So the theory actually becomes kind of hard to argue with once you see that correlation. And you could bet that test writers are going to zero in on what that proves and what it doesn't prove. Now, there's a pattern running through this passage worth noticing. It's a cause and effect chain. Magnetic field reverses, magnetite records the reversal, magma cools and locks it in, new crust pushes old crust outward, and stripes form. Each step here depends on the one before it. If you see the chain, you can trace any question back to the right spot. Now, the author's stance here is pretty straightforward. The theory is well supported and the evidence is pretty convincing. There's no debate here, no skeptic, no alternative explanation. The trap here is inventing conflict that does not exist. If a choice suggests the author is weighing two theories or expressing doubt or calling for more research, that's wrong. The author laid out one story and backed it up. That is it. Now, before you hit the questions, you want to check yourself on these 3 things. First, what specifically does the striping pattern on the ocean floor tell scientists? Second, why does the age of the rocks matter? What does it confirm? And third, what exactly makes that final correlation so convincing as evidence for ocean floor spreading?